Hello there, everybody. So, I am still stuck in my basement as of the recording of this video, and probably will be for some time. And this is going to be the first normal video since I went on that 2-week thing that I talked about in the last video. I post about that in the community tab whenever I have a reason that I can't post in a certain week. I always talk about it in the community tab. So, again, I said it in the last video, but make sure if you're wondering if you're just check the community tab in general every once in a while. I post there a lot. And there's a lot of information there that I don't get a chance to say in the videos often. That being said, I am going to be out of town again this week, and I will put that in the community tab as well for people who don't see this video. I'm going to be out of town again this week, so this is going to be, next week. So starting tomorrow, I kind of just sitting around tomorrow, and I should be leaving on Monday. So this coming week, starting tomorrow, I will not be able to put out a video because I will not be here. And hopefully I should have this video out by the end of tonight, so I don't do the same thing again where a video that was supposed to come out one week came out the following week. Which is another way for me to say, I need to stop waiting until Saturday to make these videos. Like 8 p.m. on Saturday. But anyway, a couple weeks ago was the NBA championship, and I know you guys have all seen the title. You all already know what this video is about. You're wondering, what the frick does the NBA championship have to do with it? I'll get there. But a couple weeks ago was the NBA championship, and the New York Knicks won. And usually, any other year, I would have had no idea because I don't watch the NBA. I watch the MLB, and then I watch the NFL, and I watch college football. Those are about the only televised sports that I watch. Occasionally, whenever the Olympics are on, I'll peek in every once in a while. But that's the only sports that I watch. I don't watch the NBA. So the reason I was aware of the finals and the Knicks winning this year is because leading up to their victory, there were a bunch of people popping up on my feed saying, New York is screwed if the Knicks win. And I obviously have no idea why, because I don't watch the NBA. Anyone who watches the NBA enough to know what the heck they're talking about, drop a comment, because I have no idea. But the Knicks won, from what I heard. And I confirmed this when I found out a couple days ago about what I'm going to talk about in this video. So this is 2 weeks ago, the Knicks won, I believe. I don't know. I don't keep track of the NBA. So obviously you all know about the championship, but not enough people are talking about what happened afterwards as a result. Well, not really because of the championship, but following the championship, not enough people have been talking about it. I'm sure a lot of you haven't heard about this. At least I haven't seen very many people talking about it. In Los Angeles, there was a Knicks fan, and she and her dog, they saw the Knicks win. They saw it live, and they were overjoyed. Well, she was, and I guess that kind of pushed on to her dog. So she and her dog kind of freaked out. She freaked out, and then I'm assuming her dog freaked out afterwards because the Knicks won, and she was kind of celebrating with her dog that the Knicks had won the NBA championship, and then one of the neighbors in their apartment building heard them and got very concerned that something might be going on and she might be hurt. So they called the LAPD, the cops. They called the cops and said, "Hey, just check on my neighbor. I think she might be hurt. There's a lot of screaming and yelling." So the LAPD sent 2 officers to the woman's house, and 2 officers showed up, and the woman opened her door, and the dog poked its head out, and as dogs do, the dog started barking. Immediately, one of the officers, the officer whose point of view the body cam footage that I had seen was from, this officer immediately, as soon as the dog peeks out and starts barking, draws his gun. And this is already, he's stepping back, he's drawing his gun. That's like, I don't think as a police officer, your first reaction to a dog poking its head out of a door and barking, as dogs do. I used to have 2 dogs, not the small dogs, not like this one, but still dogs. Dogs bark, believe it or not. Dogs bark. My friend has 2 pit bulls. Dogs bark. This is gonna shock you, but dogs do bark. So the dog starts barking at the police officer, and he draws his gun. And your first reaction to that, because it's a completely normal thing as a police officer, should not be to draw your gun. And they actually, Moist Critical looked this up. They actually have training protocol. They have protocol that all these police are supposed to know for what to do when you get into a potentially hostile encounter with a dog. And my camera is slipping. But they're trained to know what to do, and they have a million. It's not a short list. They have a list. It's quite the long list of things they're supposed to do when they encounter a potentially hostile, which this really wasn't, and I'll explain that later. When they get into a potentially hostile encounter with a dog, there's a long list of things they're supposed to do before they draw their gun. And this officer did none of them. He just immediately drew his gun on the dog. So he did not shoot it. I want to say something else, but I feel like it's not necessary because you've already seen the title. We'll get there. He did not, at this point, I'll clarify a little bit more. At this point in time, he did not shoot the dog. So now, if any of you who didn't read the title know exactly what this video is about, he did not shoot the dog yet. He's not shoot the dog yet. So this dog, from what I've been told, according to Moist Critical's video, was a Saint Bernard Poodle Golden Retriever mix. And none of those, I mean, so sure, it's a big dog, but none of those are aggressive breeds. From what I've heard, I have not had any of those, but like Golden Retrievers are famously nice. A poodle cannot possibly harm a person, and from what I've heard, Saint Bernards do not have issues with attacking people at all. They're completely harmless breeds. So he drew his gun on that, and she's like, so after he draws his gun, the lady is like, okay, I'll just put him inside. They said, put your dog away, and she's like, okay, I'll put him inside. So she puts the dog in, she shuts the door, and I guess she probably should have put him in like a cage or on a leash or something. Like at least put him in a room and shut the door so he couldn't get out. But I guess she just kind of put him on a couch and said stay. Is what she did, which is a little dumb on her part, but not as dumb as what one of the officers was about to do. Same officer who drew his gun. So all the doors shut. He's standing there, still got his gun out, and he looks at his partner, and they're both talking about. They're talking about how big the dog was and how like big and scary he was, and he's not a scary looking dog at all, really. Like, sure, he's big, but he's not a scary looking dog. But like, this officer was like terrified of this dog. So she comes back out, and wherever the heck she put this dog, the dog's like having none of that. The dog follows her out, and the police in their like official like when they officially addressed the situation, they said that the dog aggressively charged. Are you kidding me? The camera's slipping again. This happened in the last video multiple times as well. They accused the dog of aggressively charging at the officer. You can watch the video footage. He blatantly did not do that. The dog was walking towards the officer. He was barking, as dogs do, but he was walking towards the officer. He walked out of the apartment towards the officer, and as soon as this dog got close to this police officer, the police officer who had the gun, he raised his gun and just absolutely unloaded on this dog. Like, he shot at least 3 times. I want to say 4 or 5. I think 6 might be pushing it, but he shot. I want to say 4 or 5 times. I might have to rewatch the clip. At least 4 or 5 times he shot this dog. From what it looked like, from what I remember, I watched the clip yesterday. He shot the dog at least 3 times. And very obviously, the woman screamed. But not only does he have protocols in place that he's not supposed to do that, but also, on top of that, the lady and his partner were both behind the dog when he shot it, and obviously he killed it. So, and he shot it, again, several times he shot this dog. So, not only is he killing a dog for basically no reason, he could have very easily killed his partner or the lady who owns the dog as well, if he had missed or if the bullets had gone through the dog and continued on. He could have very easily killed them. So, he's killing, not only is he killing a dog for no reason, but he is putting the lives of a citizen and a fellow officer in danger while he is killing a dog for no reason. And obviously, he should be fired for that. And there are some absolute freaking deplorable human beings, most of them probably live in their mother's basements and spend their whole lives on Reddit, who are actually, it is a sizable amount of people, who are actually defending this and keep going with the police department story. Well, actually, he aggressively charged at the officer, which you can blatantly see that he didn't. And you can, and even if he did do that, there's the police protocol. The police protocol states that there's a ton. It's not a short list of things that he should be doing before he is shooting the dog. And I've seen like the screenshot that Moist Critical put up. From what I read, it doesn't even say that you should be shooting the dog at all. It doesn't say list of things you should do before you shoot the dog. It says list of things you should do. And shooting the dog is not on it. So, I mean, I guess if all else fails, but I'm not going to justify shooting this dog at all, especially since he went blatantly against protocol and did it for no reason against a dog that wasn't even you can't even remotely make the argument that this dog was trying to hurt this man. He just shot it for blatantly no reason. And so after the dog is dead, the owner is over there crying. And don't worry, all the graphic stuff with the dog after it got shot, that's all blurred in the video. Not blurred, but they have like a black box over it. And you can see the lady crying over the dog's body, obviously, as any sensible human being would be. I would be. And there's, I think, at least a couple more officers that show up, but I'm not sure. Obviously, the neighbors hear the shots, and they come out to see what happened. And apparently, it was at that moment he knew he effed up, because the neighbors love this dog. And they come out and they immediately start berating this cop, rightfully so. He just shot a dog. Are you kidding me? I'd be screaming at this motherfucker. And I can actively see my camera slipping. Why does it keep falling, man? Okay, but like my camera is slipping again, bro. I just fixed you. Stop moving. Like, I'd be screaming at this fudger. Like, and I don't even have really words, because I've always been like a dog person as far as like pets. It's like, I had 2 dogs for most of my life. They both passed away a couple years ago. One about a year or 2 before the other. So it makes me sad to see a police officer, especially in Los Angeles, shooting a dog for no reason. And here's the thing. They're in Los Angeles. Remember this. Los Angeles is like the most crime-ridden city in America. Like, I don't think it's the worst city crime-wise, but I mean, it's up there. It is up there. Especially in like California too. It's in California where it's got quite a bit of competition, and it's still top of them charts with the frickin' crime. So it's just like, I don't even have that much to say, man. It's just that horrible what happened to this animal. So the people come out and they're just berating this cop. And there's one thing that I would have said earlier in the video, and I kind of hinted at it just now, that this guy said, and that's why I want to bring it up. That's why I waited to bring it up until now, because the guy straight up said it. One of the neighbors said, "You're in Los Angeles, where we have drug dealers and murderers and like burglars and like every single kind of like criminal in the world running amok around this city. And you come in here into a random apartment complex and you shoot a dog? This is the police department we're paying for with our tax dollars?" And like, that's exactly what I would have said. I would have said that earlier in the video if he hadn't said it just then. Like, that's absolutely true. They're paying with their tax dollars for this police department to take the drug dealers and murderers that just do whatever they want in Los Angeles at this point, to get them off the streets. They're paying for these police officers to get those guys off the streets. And this police officer has been through training to not do this, walks into a random apartment complex and shoots a dog. Bro, of all the people, or I guess living things, you could be shooting as a police officer, why is it a random Knicks fan's dog? And man, I feel so bad, because she's just trying to she's just trying to celebrate her favorite basketball team's victory in the finals one day, And all of a sudden, 2 cops start knocking on her door, and within the hour, her dog is dead. It's absolutely disgraceful for a police officer to be doing that. But I don't really have any more to say about it, so that's going to be it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.